Welcome back to the review of week 4 of our low spend grocery budget challenge month. If you're new, my name is Leah and I love to spend less and create more and share with you how you can do the same thing. So stick around to see what I've purchased and the recipes we've made. This is Savvy Saute. A lot of times we will end up having leftovers for lunch, so things that we didn't finish for dinner throughout the week will end up being packed into boxes for lunch. Pair it with a salad. So that's what I'm doing here. I have some apricot almond pork that I made last week. And then for dinner, we truly used the time-saving machine and picked up a pizza. For breakfast this morning, I am making Weston some cinnamon apple oatmeal. I just put in some quick oats, a little bit of cinnamon. I'm gonna use brown sugar. Because I'm putting this in the microwave, I want my apples to be sliced really thin. That way they cook really well. Just cover everything with enough water and then cook it for 2 minutes. It comes out perfect every time. On Sunday, my mom had us over for a lunch after church, and we had our family over visiting people from out of town, so it was really nice. And then for dinner that evening, we just had some like appetizer type food out of the freezer with the leftover veggies. I made a baked potato with cheese, so just really simple stuff. Happy Monday! Let's pack lunch for Weston to take to school today. He loves these little Baby Bell cheese, always gets some fruit or veggies at least with his lunch. And I ended up buying some really cute containers to make him a yogurt flip, kind of like a Chobani flip. And we keep our Go-Gurt in the freezer, so I had to defrost that. And then you just layer this all together. And I will have the containers down in the description box. You actually get 3 of them for about $4. And then we also reuse any kind of condiment container things that we get from restaurants. Most of the time when we go out, they just give us a bunch of sauce containers. So we save them and use them for school lunch. Of course, we can't forget about breakfast. I just pulled out one of those sandwiches that we had in our deep freezer for Weston. This morning, I am going to have some eggs. I did 3 egg whites with 1 regular egg mixed together, some buttered rye toast, and a coffee from Starbucks. For lunch, I tried that deli meat that I bought, and I don't know, the flavor was kind of weird. The texture was okay. It definitely was different than I wanted, so I used a lot of stone ground mustard to help cover up the flavor of the chicken. I don't know, lots of salt, pepper. I used the mixed greens, and it was a really good sandwich, but definitely not the kind of deli meat that I will be buying in the future. Now, you probably know by now, I love keeping cooked meat in my freezer. Just defrost it the night of for your meal, your dinner, and it is so easy to get dinner pulled together. So I just pulled out some cooked chicken I had and sauteed that with some peppers and onions. The guys had nachos with the ground beef, and then I made myself a fajita taco salad. A big way to help keep you from going out to eat whenever you don't want to spend all that extra money is to have food in your house that is convenient. It doesn't always have to be homemade, but having something in your freezer ready to go to just defrost or microwave cook is going to keep you out of the drive-thru. Happy Tuesday. I have not eaten quite yet. I was called in for a dentist appointment. Someone had a cancellation, so I was able to sneak in for my cleaning. I didn't eat breakfast. So I'm making myself a quick snack, and then I'm gonna have a salad for lunch later. I'm gonna share with you what I just made. So here is my cottage cheese with peaches and some little Ritz knockoff crackers. So yummy. It's nice and savory and sweet. And if you don't like the texture of cottage cheese, you could blend it. Make it nice and smooth like a cheesecake pretty much, and then top it with some fruit. So for my lunch here, I have a snacking size cucumber. We have some tomatoes from the garden and some mixed greens. Then I am putting some Cholula hot sauce on my Kala Power spicy chicken. So I will eat normal breaded chicken too, but I've had this in the freezer for quite a while. I want to use it up. You can definitely taste the cauliflower in it. That's what it's breaded with. But if you're looking for a gluten-free, I believe it's gluten-free, breaded chicken option, this is great. For dinner, I'm going to utilize some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. I've had them in the freezer for quite a while. I'm sure I bought them on clearance a while back, and we're just not really big on meat with the bone and skin. I have a recipe that's perfect for them. I'm also pulling out some chicken legs for a few nights from now, some broccoli to get into the fridge. I've got some frozen chicken I want to pull out for the house, just some easy things. All right, so here's all of the things I needed to get out of our deep freezers for the next few days. I have chicken legs for, I think, Fridays when I'm making these. Chicken thighs for tonight. We're doing a chicken casserole. I needed broccoli for another day coming up. Breakfast nuggets for the kids for a couple of days this week. And then I wanted to pull out these chicken patties to go ahead and get some lunch prepped for Dakota. I think I'll have him take a chicken sandwich for work tomorrow. And then here's the butter that I need to use for an upcoming cookie order. I'm starting tomorrow, so this is not for our household. So I'm just going to get this chicken in with about a cup of water so it can come to pressure. And then we're going to put this on here high pressure for about an hour and a half. It is frozen solid. None of the pieces are separated from each other, so I think it might take that long. All right, for this dinner, I'm also going to use some chicken flavored stuffing mix and some chicken broth. Got all of this dark meat taken off the bone, no skin or anything like that. All the extra fat off. And then we're going to put in 1 can of cream of chicken. And if you don't have cream of chicken, you can just thicken up some chicken broth with some flour on a stovetop. I was actually really shocked when I opened up this can and saw how yellow it was. I do think homemade would taste better, but it still works really well. I just wanted to thin it out a little bit with some chicken broth. Next, we're just going to layer everything together. I put this mixture down on the bottom of a casserole dish. It doesn't need to be greased or anything. You don't have to line it with parchment paper. I'm gonna take about half of our stuffing mix and add some chicken broth to it. And then I wanna take the rest and put it on top, so that we can have some crunchier pieces and it's not going to be all soggy. Then we'll just put this into the oven at 400 degrees until the stuffing is cooked. Now you may be wondering why I use store-bought chicken broth instead of the broth I had from my cooked chicken tonight, but that's because I wanted to strain it and get the fat off of it before I used it. You see all of that fat on there? I've let it solidify in the fridge, and then I can just scoop that off, and then underneath I've got some good broth. Served this with some seasoned green beans, sweet baby carrots, and some cranberry sauce, and it really smelled and tasted like Thanksgiving. For another dinner, I wanted to make some pasta with our chicken that we have left over, and the only pasta that I even had in our pantry was some shells that were little, and I had some tortellini and lasagna left over from some order that I did for catering. So I didn't want to make lasagna with it, but I decided to break them in half, boil them until they were soft enough to roll, and I wanted to make chicken Alfredo roll-ups. So you could do this with stuffed shells, you could do it with the tortellini, you can do it with any kind of pasta you want, but you're just going to make a nice Alfredo sauce. I'll have the full recipe listed down below of how I make Alfredo sauce from scratch, but you're going to use butter, garlic, onion, saute that with some salt and pepper, heavy cream, or you could use milk and a little bit of flour to thicken it up, but the heavy cream will thicken up on its own, and you're also going to be adding some Parmesan cheese. Let that thicken up, and if it's too thick for your preference, you can add some of your starchy pasta water, or you can add some chicken stock to it for some more flavor, and then you're going to set that aside, and we're going to start working on our roll-ups. I used half a cup of cottage cheese that I had on hand, blended that to make it more of a consistency like ricotta, and I put that all together with 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, salt, pepper, half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and a cup of chopped fresh spinach. Now you could use frozen spinach, you could use any kind of vegetables that you want. Just roll that all together, and then you're going to top it with your Alfredo sauce. You could also do this with a marinara sauce. It'd be really good. And then we're going to put some mozzarella cheese all over the top, some Italian seasoning, and bake that at 400 degrees until the cheese is nice and melted. Everything is heated through. I served it with some broccoli, and dinner is done. There was one portion left over for an easy lunch, and then for Weston's lunch the next day, I actually made him a pizza grilled cheese. He loved that. I sliced it into strips, put some little marinara sauce on the side for him to dip it in. So that's a fun lunch idea. Head into Walmart, grab a couple of things. We don't have a very big list, but I'm gonna share with you what we get. Got my honey with me today. So I'm sure he'll find a couple of things to put into the cart.
Need some of those.
So here's our small grocery haul for the week, starting with the important stuff, the double stuffed Oreos. Dakota went ahead and got that, put that into the cart. I also wanted to get some of this vanilla yogurt for the kids. Weston's been making his own little yogurt flips. And then butter, because we need some more for toast and baking. The Greek strawberry yogurt, I've been enjoying that. The low-fat cottage cheese and my high-protein fat-free milk. Those are all three really great sources of protein. Also bananas, per usual, a 1 pound bag of baby cut carrots, and a 1 pound bag of the snacking size cucumbers as well. So that is everything for this week. And that completes our grocery budget challenge, as long as we don't buy anything else between now and the end of this month. There's still going to be one more video to show you the completion of our budget challenge month. It'll come out next Tuesday and share with you everything that's left in our fridge, freezer, and pantries, so that way you can see what we've been able to use up. I'm also going to have the rest of our dinners and meals that we've been making for the rest of this month, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you haven't seen all of the videos for this challenge, that's going to be down in the description box from this video, as well as a detailed list of all the things that we have purchased during the challenge and how much we have spent. So make sure you check that out. Let me know what you think, and of course, until the next video, I'll see you down in the comments.